welcome to Vinyasa Yoga. My name is Valerie. Today we are going to be working on tricky transitions. And the reason why I call it that are these are transitions that get a little stickier and are trickier to maintain when we're taking a Vinyasa Yoga class. Vinyasa Yoga class varies in speed, but for the most part, there are a few breaths per movement. And in the power practice, it's just about one breath per movement, which is a lot of movement all at once. So these areas we're going to work on, these transitions, are ones you can take more at your own pace and continue to build and work on in your Vinyasa style practice so that the flow becomes a little more meditative because you don't have to think about getting stuck in these positions so much. So you're going to need a couple of blocks for this practice. We're going to start with the blocks in front of us, right? And we're on our knees here. So I want the blocks in front of us because I want us to get an idea of where we're placing our feet down when we lift forward. So come up on the knees. Your knees are at about hip distance. Your hands are on your hips and you want to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed and down. If you want to press pause here and come into focus and then rejoin me, please feel free to do so. You're going to bring weight into your right knee and then start to step your left foot forward toward the inside of that block and then step that foot back, sliding the foot back and placing the knee down. So you notice when I tried that, I had a lot of shift of weight into my hips. That's going to happen when you step forward when you're in downward dog too. So let's try that again. Lessening the movement here. Little bit of weight shift to the right, left foot steps forward and then steps back. Keep doing that. Step forward and step back. Try to limit a rounding or curve out of the hip. Getting stronger on that right side. And let's try the right foot forward. Weight to the left, step your right foot forward. And come back to center. Woo! So in this case, my ankle kind of moves around a little bit. So you're looking for anything like that too. Possibilities that there has to be some kind of compensation for the movement. In my case, it's anatomical, and it could be in your case too. So know that our anatomy is going to be a part of our practice no matter what we do. Try that a couple more times, seeing if you can smooth out any flick of the toe as you're moving forward. Beautiful. And then this time around, when both knees are down, bring your hands on blocks at their lowest position. You're in a tabletop position here now. You're going to tuck into your toes and lift your hips up and back. Come into your downward facing dog. Maybe you take some movements, little pedals of the legs. Let your heels get heavy and back here. With the blocks, this downward dog may look and feel a lot different. So this time as we step forward, we're going to have these blocks underneath our hands. We're going to bring some weight into that right foot. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and take that step forward and then take that step back. Right foot steps forward and back. Step forward and back. This time we're going to work on that right side, but we're going to hollow out the belly. So hug the belly up and in. Round into the upper back like you're coming into almost like a cat pose. And then draw your knee into the chest and step that foot forward. Might have gotten a little gain there. And then step that foot back. Again, hug the belly in around through the spine. Step forward and then step back. Come down on the knees. Keep the hands in the position. On your blocks, take a cow pose and take a cat pose, rounding the spine. Beautiful. We're coming back into that downward facing dog. Let's work on that left side now. So again, your hands are on your blocks. Again, this might feel a little different than if you didn't have hands on blocks. And step your left foot right underneath you with knee at the chest and then step it back. Try that again. Just as far as it will go. One more time. Beautifully done. This time, hug the belly in, do that rounding, that cat back, and step your foot forward. Maybe getting a little bit more, and back. Try that again, hug it in, and step forward, and back. And then one more time. And back. Beautiful. Come back into the tabletop position. Here we are in our cat-cow. And back into downward facing dog once more. This time, let's hollow out the belly. Puff the upper back. Lift that right foot up to extend, and then hug the knee in and sweep that foot through. Beautiful. Lift up. Press the heel back. And then start to extend the arms back behind you. Really nice and strong here in through your legs. Nice, strong, long back as you're here. Breathing deeply in and out. Grab onto your blocks, walk them over to the left side. So you're in this fold. You can even take a little break here in your fold and then walk your way all the way around to the other side. Bring your blocks down. And I'm going to position myself differently so you can see what I'm doing, right? On the lowest setting. And then this step back can be really tough for many of us. So you're gonna hug your heel in toward your glutes, step back, lift the hips up and back. Alrighty, so now we get to step forward with that swing lift on the left side. Hug the belly in around the spine, lift the leg, and then tuck the knee in toward the chin. Keep rounding and take that step forward. Feet are gonna be at hip distance as you lift the chest slightly. Chest forward, belly in, arms reach back. Getting nice and long through the spine. Press back with that right heel. And then bring your hands back down to your blocks. Walk them on over to the right. Maybe take a fold here for a break. And then walk all the way to the top of your mat once more. Here we are. We're going to take that step back on the other side. Hands on our blocks. A lot of weight equally divided, left hand and right hand. Right heel hugs in, and then we take that step back. So just hinging again. So we can try this again with our blocks. If you're curious about this transition without blocks, let's try that. My apologies, I'm sweating like crazy. I'm in a very, very warm room right now. So if you're like, why is she sweating so much? That's the reason. Okay, let's come into our downward facing dog. Hands under shoulders, legs back, hips up and back. Let's apply what we learned. So you're hugging your belly in, rounding that upper back, lifting your right leg, taking that big step forward, lifting the chest up, pressing the arms back, staying nice and low. Arms come back down, walk your hands all around to the other side of your mat, facing the back side of your mat, hands on the floor. Hug the heel in, extend the leg up this time, bring your foot down. Come back into downward dog. Lift that left leg. Step through, hug in. Remember, kiss the knee. It's so close to the lips. That's how close it is to the upper body. And then lift the upper body, reach the arms back, press that right heel back, and bring your hands back down. Walk all the way over, all the way so that right foot is forward. Take a step forward with your left foot. Come into a fold. Hands plant down, step back to your plank pose, and then lower the knees down. Let's follow this up with a child's pose. Hips back, reach your arms forward. Okay, one more breath here. Beautiful, tricky transition number 2. The step through was number 1. The pivot is number 2. So this is one I see in classes that really is kind of hard for the brain to connect with the body. And so we want to kind of let everything go as we take this transition, right? So you want to take your right hand to the center of your mat. Open your left arm to the left, left leg reaches out, reach the arm up. So that's that transition that I can tell you is pretty tricky for others. And then if you want to add some more heat, you're lifting that left leg. Nicely done. And then pivot back around. And you're bringing your knee down. And let's try the other side. We've got now that right leg extended, left hand toward the center of the mat, open to the left, reach the arm, and then maybe lift that leg, right? So you want to just be facing the opposite direction here, and then pivot around. Face the top of the mat, knee comes down. Let's add in some heat here. So extend your left leg behind you, open up left, reach the arm, lift the foot, elbow and knee into the center, scrunch and reach. 2 more. 1 more. Reach the arm up and overhead. Keep that left leg lifted. Hug the elbows in as you lower the chest down. Lift up. Hug the belly in. Hollow out the belly. Remember that step? Step through. Reach. Arms up. Hands come back down. Step back. Heel in and up. Extend and reach again. And then bring your arm down. Knee comes down. Shift the hip side to side. Other side. Right leg extends, open up to the right. Lift the foot up, scrunching elbow and knee into the center, extend. 2 more. And 1 more. Keep that right leg lifted as the right hand comes down. You're facing the front of your space again. Keep the right ankle flexed as the chest comes down and lifts up. Hollow the belly, round the back to step forward, reach. And then hands come down. Step the right foot back, lift it up and reach. And then bring that arm back down. Tabletop position, child's pose. Breath in and out. Come into your tabletop position once more. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Hands at the lap. Shoulders relaxed and back. Breath in and breath out. Good. All right. So 2 tricky transitions. The step through and the open and twist up to supported plank. Adding in a step through, right? So practice these, see how they go for you, because that was down toward the ground. There's ways we do this as we get a little higher up into the standing poses, but if we can get those kind of basic foundational movements down, we can add on from there, adding in all sorts of fun transitions and balances along the way. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a really great day and keep cool, keep cool.